Hey guys, Luke here, and welcome back to episode 4 of Win One Take On. In this episode, we're going to be taking on the New Zealand Warriors and the Penrith Panthers. So, two pretty okay sides. The Warriors one in particular have some really nice players that I'm very looking forward to trying taking. The Penrith side, they have a great side, but it's nowhere near the standard of side that they have right now in real life because it's 2013 lineups. But looking at the Warriors side, in particular, we've got Vadavai, Kevin Locke, Sean Johnson, just to name a few, Madalino even, Mannering. Like, they've got a fair few players that wouldn't mind taking. At this stage, we're pretty stocked up on back, so it's not a priority, although we don't really have a choice. But if I had a priority, we've got a hooker now with McCullough making a great tackle right then, who we picked up in the last game against Brisbane. If you haven't seen that, go back and have a look at that. But speaking of halves and that, we do need more halves, I reckon. I think we've got Sirenan maybe playing halfback, and Ben Roberts at 5'8". He's very solid. He's really good in this game, so I'm fine with him. But definitely a dominant half. Wouldn't go astray, to be honest with you. And then just more forwards just to round out the side. 1-0 down at half time. A little bit of a soccer score there. Not a little bit, it was a soccer score. Thankfully, we do end up picking up an intercept try there with Ken Sio, who we got in the very first episode. So a bit of a throwback there to Ken Sio. Also, just while we've got a break and play there, I'd like to take time, if you can drop a like, to be very much appreciated. It just shows me that you still find the series interesting. And 10 likes would be awesome. So yeah, make sure you subscribe as well. Then we've got a 6-1 lead, which actually sounds very, very funny, but we end up going and extending that lead here. You see Jason Nightingale, he will put it down as if he would have stuffed that up. Although lately Nightingale's been a little bit dodgy with the put downs, but not this time. This is back from 2013. This is 2013 Nightingale. He doesn't stuff around there. So it ends up being 10-1, which is not too much of a soccer score. I mean, I suppose it's still possible, but 12-1, maybe not so much. I know it's not much of a difference, but anyways. So Ben Roberts just curling around left to right, and I think that's going to be him again, putting in another kick there. Kevin Locke's going to field the kick, but he's going to run out. Usually that happens to us, but this time it worked in our favour, and Ben Roberts gets it to Lawrence, who gets it to CO. And then I'm not sure who it was coming across, but I think it might be Kevin Locke with an awesome tackle here. Now I know there's a little bit of a transition effect thing there, but this is all pretty much the same sort of like play. And then right from the play the ball, we just throw a nice little cut out pass to CO, which probably should have been tackled, but for whatever reason, and they didn't make any sort of contact at all. So we got pretty lucky there, but we'll take that. And we're getting very, very close to getting an extra player. Whether we get that, I'm not really sure. The conversion was missed, so that's the first miss of the game. It's not really too much of a problem though, because it doesn't really change the fact that we need another try, which we do end up getting to get the extra player. And it sort of came just at the right time because there wasn't that much time left. But Trent Merrin, one of our signings from the second episode, I believe, obviously with the Dragons, who next year will be Panthers. But for this one, he was with the Dragons. He's actually not that great of a player in this game, which is a bit disappointing. Hasn't got much pace. I mean, I know he's not the fastest in real life, but yeah, he's just not very effective. But you know, he's better than the original players that we got. But 22-1, it's quite amazing that we were 1-0 down at halftime and ended up winning 22-1. But also, it just looks funny having that one just there on the New Zealand lineup. New Zealand scoreboard. So the people we get was 5, 10, 6, and 4, I think. So it's not the best ones that we could have got from the Warriors, considering who they have in their side. But Vadavai, he's a pretty good pickup. The only thing is we've already loaded with centers. We already got Yaya and stuff playing in the centers. Wingers as well. Madalino as well. He's a pretty good pickup. We do need a prop. It means we can move Merrin to the lock. Lulawai, we can throw him in at halfback. He sort of answered our prayers with the halfback spot at this stage. And then Conrad Hurrell, another centre, but thankfully he's sort of big and strong enough that I think we might be able to get away with putting him in the back row, or even in the prop, or just off the bench pretty much to start off this sort of series thing. I don't know how long he'll be in the side. It all depends on who we really get. I just really hope that with all the randomised and stuff, when we get to like the big games against Roosters and Rabbitohs, we just haven't got a side that's like all the best players are all centres and like fullbacks and that, and we just got a whole bunch of like shitty forwards. Although we are stacking up on some pretty decent forwards. You got Vadavai playing in the forwards. You got like Ashford and Hurrell and stuff there in the forward pack. But the Penrith side did have a few good players here. Vare, Mansour, Simmons, even Luke Walsh as a halfback. Just another one really. I'm not really sure who would end up playing if we end up getting another half, seeing we just got Thomas Lulawai, who can go in there and play in the halves. Also, we got Curtis Sironen, who also moves to the forwards. But we did get a nice little penalty there. It was for a high tackle, and we kicked it out for touch. And then we end up scoring here. Now, it's just off the top of my head, I can't remember who actually scored it, but it was right under the post. So Ben Roberts should slot this. Also, I think with the halves with Ben Roberts, it's really good that he can goal kick as well. So I'm not really looking at moving him anytime soon. So maybe Luluai would probably be the half that we'd be moving just based off goal kicking, and I think Ben Roberts is a better player on the game. They go through here. I can't remember who it was, but it was just a shitty effort there. We went with Dugan as a fullback and tried to put a shoulder charge on it and ended up missing. So that was quite embarrassing. I've done it a few times on myself, career mode. It's just going to happen, especially this camera angle. But then Fuafua Moimoi just destroys whoever it was who caught the ball, and that was really awesome. And I think that was Harold there on the ball there. It was a nice little intercept for an offload, and then another offload just to keep it in field. Trent Merrin's going to get an offload to Chris Lawrence here. Not going to have enough pace to get around Vare, but we're going to throw it out to Jason Nightingale on the left wing here. And he's one-on-one with Naguamo or whoever it is, and he just palms him off, simple as. And there's another try. So 10-6, a little bit more comfortable now. We've got the lead back, and I'm really thinking we're going to hold on to it at this stage. The conversion, it's a pretty key conversion, I have to say. Should have sort of putting it out to the left a little bit more just to swing it around, hook it around, or whatever. As the game naturally does. So pretty good conversion there. I'm getting the hang of conversions. At the start of the series wasn't too hot in them. I don't know if that's just because of the player but that we had at the start. But yeah, now we've got a pretty good goal kicker. At halftime we're up 12-6. That 12-6 lead. It's gone now to 12-10 with a kick to come. Luke Walsh doesn't really miss in real life very often, and in this game, obviously on the highest difficulty, I think they've missed maybe once so far, and I was surprised. I didn't even realise it happened, to be honest, until I went back and watched the recording. So yeah, there's that. Pretty much conversions for the computer, they're not going to miss. But 12-all, we have a chance here. There's about 22 minutes to go here. Very nice kick here. It's going out. Looks like a 40-20 possibly. They're coming across here. Can we throw him out? That's the question here. Dean Vare up against Nightingale, and Nightingale's just going to simply just throw him out. He just body slammed him or whatever. I mean, it wasn't really, but I just, in my mind, I wish they could have like full on like suplexes in this game. That'd be awesome. But we end up scoring a try there with the center. I can't remember who it actually was because the sides being mixed and matched that much. But yeah, we ended up scoring there. It could have, you could argue it was a forward pass. I think it was a forward pass, but we got away with that. But then Jason Nightingale here is just going to clean up a kick, and they all race through, leaving Nightingale just to run away. And we're going to run length of the field. Now, what I was sort of thinking as I was editing this video is, would Jason Nightingale, if this situation happened, would Mansour or whoever, would they just turn around and catch him? Is Nightingale fast enough to run the length of the field? And now I know it's out of question for this game because, you know, this game is very unrealistic with that sort of stuff. I mean, buddy, Trent Merrin be able to run length of the field and not get caught by Jared Hayne or anything. And Ben Roberts slots the conversion. Now this is the very last play. We've already sealed the win. We've got the 20 points or more, so we're going to get an extra player, which should be very exciting. Hopefully we don't get any more like players we're already stocked up on, which probably will happen. In fact, I know it happens. We're about to draw. We get a halfback, we get a second row, a wing, and one interchange. And we'll go through and have a look. So the halfback was Luke Walsh, who he'll come straight into the side. Now we got Luluai. It's just a matter of trying to find a place for all these players. Lewis Brown, very versatile. Pretty happy with him. Play in the centres. He can play hooker, play second row. Will be playing second row for us most likely. David Simmons, not really that thrilled with him. He's an okay player, don't get me wrong, but you know, we just got better wingers already. Vadavai, yeah, all that. And then Seguiaro, good player, a great player actually in real life. On this game, not the best player because you can't really take advantage of the speed too often, but I think I prefer McCulloch on this game, just better defense than that, but he might get a bench spot. So you can see us just moving these players in here. We're actually going to have to get rid of some of the original players just to make room for the side because you're going to only have 40 in a squad. But you know, that's where the video is going to end. I'd like to say thank you for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. Hopefully you can leave a like. 10's what we're aiming for. We'd love to get more than that, but it'd be a great surprise to see when I get home from TAFE or whatever. But yeah, subscribe. We're over 700, 750 to next goal. Follow me on Twitter if you want. At Mr. Luke on YT is my Twitter handle. Tweet about lots of footy and sometimes tweet through, during the games. And also, if you want to check out my Facebook page, it's in the description below. And go check out all my other videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye.